Thanks for joining me, Aditya. Now, the India versus Netherlands clash in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 is here. India's final group A test before the Super 8S kicks off. This high-stakes encounter at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad sees Suryakumar Yadav's dominant men in blue, aiming to cap their group stage with a perfect record. India has been ruthless. In ruthless form. Already qualified for the Super 8s with clinical wins, including a massive decimation of Pakistan in their group game and boasting one of the tournament's highest net run rates. Meanwhile, the Netherlands showed real fight earlier in the tournament, pushing Pakistan to the brink and making them sweat in a thrilling opener before Pakistan scrapped home by just 3 wickets. Scott Edwards' side may be on the verge of exiting, but they've proven they can trouble big names and won't go down with a scrap. With that, I'm being joined by Sunil Yashkara, who's a cricket scholar. Sunil, take it away.
Thank you, Shali. I hope you're enjoying yourself in Delhi. We are not far from the ICC headquarters here in Dubai, and I'm joined by two of the eminent names in their respective fields. Noel David was a former Indian cricketer, now a current coach and an astute critic of the game. I'm also joined by Satish, who's the former sports editor of the Gulf News, and he's done a phenomenal work in the last 3 decades. So I'm going to go straight on to Noel David. Noel, an absolute honor. India-Netherlands build-up. But more importantly, do you think it can prove out to be a party popper kind of a thing, considering Netherlands has a knack of winning one of the strangest matches or getting them, the opposition, tied up in a tough situation? Noel, David.
Yes, of course, Sunil, of course. You're right, because if you remember that Australia when they played the West Indies, they surprised the West Indies there, so this team, you cannot take anything for granted. I think the Indian team also knows that it's very important to finish the group stage at the top. Though we have already qualified, but clinical finish is most important thing. 4 out of 4 will always give you that extra boost going into the Super 8. And I find that this Netherlands teams a bit lacking in their batting department. Looking at into our bowling side, I think we should finish them off very comfortably and keep things alive all the time and keep the moral momentum going. And I hope that we see a good clinical finish today when we beat Netherlands.
Absolutely. When we beat Netherlands, that's a good positive note to begin your answer with. I'll also like to rope in Satish, my colleague from Gulf. Satish, welcome to the show. Very quickly, do you foresee Netherlands, who've given a tough challenge to Pakistan, spring 1 or 2 surprises, especially in the power play, batting or bowling? Your views, Satish, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunil. First and foremost, let's not equate the two teams. There is a lot of gulf, if I may use the right word. The gulf is huge between the two teams, India and Pakistan. And with the India, it's like a well-oiled steamroller that's going at the full clip. So you cannot stop this until you come up with something phenomenal. And truth to be told, I respect Netherlands. They are a very good side. They came very close to Pakistan, but they might cause a little. I would say they might stop the steamroller right now, but I don't think they will cause anything major, because the good part with the Indian team is right now in the 3 matches we have got 3 different match winners. So they don't depend on one match winner. They don't depend on one batsman. The batting runs deep. So to contain this kind of a team, which has got a complete 360 degrees covered, it's going to be very difficult. And I would say even some of the biggest international teams are finding it difficult to stop this Indian team that is going at ruthless pace. So I can see if Netherlands could come up with something good, it will be good for them. to boost their morale. But I don't see any upsets today, Sunil.
Absolutely, but you still, Satish, you remember Netherlands giving a tough situation to Pakistan. Do you think
Yeah.
that was a one-off thing?
No, see again, Pakistan side. This Pakistan side, if you look at they are probably below Afghanistan in terms of the skills and the talent. So the gulf between the associate team and this test playing nation is very little, because the number of in T20 again, it's all about the skill. It's doing it at a shorter pace. So even there, the margin of error comes very low. In that sense, I would say a Pakistan team could still find a little hiccups here and there, but again, their experience must have helped them to come out of the difficult situation. But yes, Netherlands could only do as much. Yes, they could do something to the mid-rung teams of the international test playing nations, but not to the top couple of them. I wouldn't say, especially India.
Great. Noel David, you are a coach currently with the Assam junior team, but take us through the mindset of a coach. The pointed question is, do you rest Abhishek Sharma or do you play Sanju Samson? Abhishek Sharma, of course, have had a little problem with his string of batting in the last three occasions. But if you were the coach and if you're in the mind of Gautam Gambhir, how would you, what would you do and how would you do it?
Look, as a coach, a lot of things will be running because we are playing the Netherlands. First thing, I would love to finish at the top, winning 4 out of 4. But yet, I'll be thinking also in resting a few players, because the group stage is very important also. The last 8, what we are into qualified to. But at the same time, will I rest Jasprit Bumrah? Will I rest Abhishek Sharma? Will I give an opportunity to Arshdeep Singh or Mohammad Siraj in the plane? All this will be running into my mind as a coach. But ultimately, back of the mind, it will be the uh, uh, being at the top of the group stage. But looking at Netherlands, looking at the side which I'm going to play, I think I will give a rest to Jasprit Bumrah and bring in Arshdeep Singh, or Mohammad Siraj. But I will not rest Abhishek Sharma. I want him to get match fit. I want him to to go out there, spend some time, get a good knock. We all know he's in good knock, good form. But it's only that this part of the tournament where he failed twice. But this match against Netherlands, I think it will be more fruitful for him to play. You know, get that knock, get the ball onto the bat, feel it, and get a quick 550 or 60, which will help him in the Super 8. And
In
I
30
think that will be
seconds,
important. Sorry.
Noel, in next 30 seconds, you tell me what would be going in the mind of Sanju Samson, who's doing everything right for last 10 years. Go on.
It's sad. It's sad. I can only say it's sad to see such a phenomenal player not among runs. I don't know what instructions has been given to him. What's maybe instructions may be given to him. Don't worry about it. You just go on there and play your shots. Or maybe no instructions must have been given. He must be playing shots which he's not. But as a player, as a fan of his, I think he's phenomenal. He's done good for the country. But at this group where a lot of people expected out of him, I must be sitting unhappy with his performance.
Absolutely. We now move on to a graphic on a television screen, which we'll talk about. Yes. Hold on to your thoughts and imagination. India may take on Pakistan once again later in the tournament. Another case of big drama. Of course, Noel David doesn't like that big drama. Vishali, would you like to add on to the graphic or should I just take it there from there? All right. India's chances, the possible chances are that Pakistan can come in. Let me just ask Noel David. Noel David, if Pakistan wins, India wins, Pakistan goes down the order, and there's some planetary movement and there's a joke in cricket, would you like to laugh over it or then wait for some more drama to happen?
Wait for some more drama to happen because I love dramas. I want to see what they are up to again. If they qualify and if they have to play us again, with what dramas they will come up with to what. But But let's be, if we take it in a cricketing ways, it can be dangerous also. Okay, because these guys are unpredictable team, Pakistanis. Because on their given day, they can upset. But looking at the form of our country, our Indians, I think we are very much pleased and we'll be very happy to face them once again.
Let me ask Ropin Satish here, the former sports editor of Gulf News. Satish, your thought on particular this drama doing a part two or a sequel? Is it possible mathematically? My team says yes. What is your opinion on it?
Technically, it is possible because in cricket, everything is mathematically possible until the last ball is bowled. So we can work on the permutation combination. But again, this India Pakistan contest, the hype will only help the growth of the World Cup. People will be more clued on, look at it, and the hype can be built up accordingly. But I still feel the chances are very, very slim given that uh, Pakistan has to play consistently well in the Super 8 and against the better teams, better opposition. So far, if you look at in the group, they have the only other test playing nation is India and they have not beaten India. So going into the Super 8, they have to play well against test playing nations, the bigger nations, and then make a book a place in the semifinals. So it's going to take a lot of effort from them. But given this team composition and this team's skills, I am not sure whether they can do it unless otherwise they come up with a really good plan or a change of thought process because it doesn't make sense to me to have a, six bowling all rounders or bowlers in a team which has got uh, uh, one of the wicket keeper in the top five, and you are looking at two batsmen. So it doesn't make sense to me unless they bring in some quality players and then change their mindset. It's not going to be easy for Pakistan to make it into that. But yes, I would love to see once again India Pakistan contest because we have all grown up watching these. A big clash. This is the mother of all clashes that we could always call. Now maybe India, Australia, England, India, England.
Satish, just stay on with me. India Pakistan is good. Everything looks brilliant. Now let's spend 2 minutes on South Africa.
Yeah,
South Africa has been India's nemesis for some time. I mean, I think we've shared the honors equally. But
yeah.
what is your opinion of if South Africa was to come in the top eight? Will it be a big challenge considering the form that they're playing in? And is IPL an open big case for Indian players because all the South Africans play here and know the team?
Absolutely, absolutely. South Africa is a much bigger threat, and they are much more confident after winning the Test Championship because now the monkey is off their back. They don't have to worry about the. They have removed the tag called the chokers. They have won a title, and they came to the final and they played phenomenal cricket. So I would say any day, South Africa's skill, talent, and the depth of the team, the variety in the bowling, the aggressive match winners in the batting, they are a lot of bigger danger than I would say any other team in the current form. But yes, of course, there are others like West Indies also. If we play Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka, they could be a one. But in terms of the skills, probably South Africa rank the topmost in the I would say in the challenge that India could face. Uh, Sunil.
Well, absolutely. Thank you. I'll come back to you in a while. But moving on, I'd like to rope in Noel David. Noel, it's been good old days since we've seen South Africa coming from 1992. The the final, the semi-final, which got them out. Do you think South Africa is now raring to go, especially a force, uh, and have knocked down the bigger teams into the fray, and they're like one of the contenders for the trophy T20?
Of
Noel
course,
David.
Sunil. Of course. If you see the past few years of South African cricket, you take the women's, you take the T20s
Yes.
of the women's, you take the T20 of the men, or the Test championship, World Championship for
Under
the men,
19 too.
under 19, everything you take. The cricket has come far ahead for what we have seen a few, or maybe 6, 7 years down the line, you know, back. But they have come a long way. They won the World Championship. They were in the 2024 T20 finals, women's finals this year. World Cup, ODI. So I feel this side can be a very dangerous side as they keep going and as they keep performing, because they have the best of the players in the side. They have Makram as the captain. They have David Brevis. They have Clinton de Kock, who's retired and come back. I think they had a balanced side. They have a very balanced side. Even the bowling attack is very dangerous. They have the package which a team needs. So I find that South African will be a team in reckoning, and I think not only in the this thing, but even the West Indies are chipping in with their quiet, slow moves. They are also good. So India
Well,
has to be well equipped with their plans and everything else.
well, spend some more time on South Africa because apart from the IPL, they've also toured recently India and they've got match practice. Do you think that comes in as a big possibility and a good positivity to the South Africans?
See, Sunil, any bilateral series or any series before a World Cup, especially when you're playing T20 World Cup and you're playing T20 series or five match series, that will give you a lot of inputs of the opposition. And I think South Africa must have used this series as an opportunity to read the Indian team, to get the inputs what they exactly want. And I think they've done their homework very well. And I know this South African team will be a team which everyone wants, because they are quite harmless team. But when it comes onto the field, they are very dangerous. And I feel that they are, as the team is led by David, Makram. I think he's a classical opener when it comes to T20 championship. They have David Miller in the middle order. They have the young David Brevis, who's a hard hitting. We have seen that when they played the T20 championship in South Africa, the quickest 100 he got. I think they are well balanced team. They have good spinner in Maharaja. They have Rabada, who's there, the main strike bowler. I think South Africa is a team which everyone would love to see them in the finals once again, playing the
Well,
Indians.
Well, you've spoken about finals, and there was one team that has ruled the roost in the last 21 years of 25 years of T20 cricket. And let's not forget, we're talking about Australia. Noel David, you've had a series against them in some day in your life, whether it was A or touring team or President 11. Did you ever expect Australia to be knocked out of Zimbabwe? But first, Australia.
And I never expected this will be a great upset, where the Australians have not qualified for the group stage, for the Super 8 also, and they are being exited from the group stage itself. I'm surprised. It's because I think they have the combination, especially the captain, was not up to this mark. We are never expected the captain's failure will be the most thing in the this, because the captaincy was not good at all. He never marked the troop very well. The moves were not perfect. The bowling changes were not good, and I find that when they got the start, they lost it in between, especially against the Sri Lankans. That game was very, very important to them. They were 104 for no loss. They lost Travis Head, and from there they lost quick wickets. I think there they should have capitalized and used their experience to get away from the Sri Lankans. But absolutely, absolutely. It is very disappointing to see world champions who have been number of times world champions, not only in T20, but ODIs or World Test Championships, exiting so early in the group stage itself. That gives a huge disappointment to the fans, because
Well,
they love to see the Aussies in men in yellow, at least to, compete against the Indians.
absolutely. We'd love to see them. But of late, my question is to Satish. Satish, we've discussed injury as the first problem. The second failure could be perhaps that top order batting collapses and repeated failures. But third point could be the lack of wicket keeping bowling second string attack, trying to struggle and playing on a big occasion. Do you think these number two and number third failure was bigger than the first one, which was injury? Satish, your view.
Absolutely. See, my injury is just a part and parcel of it. They don't have to put it a very in a nutshell. The problems are multifold. One is The over reliance on the top order batting, to be honest, with the head especially scoring the runs, a weak middle order batting, and the bowling doesn't have the skills. If you look at a Cummins or a Hazelwood or even Stark, you don't have such a replacement coming in bowling and keeping the batsman in check. So these are multiple problems that had crept into the team, but the bigger problem was the attitude. Rather, I would the aggressive Australian attitude helped them win many tournaments, championships. They have been the masters in the last couple of decades, but that attitude had the skills to back up. Here, they lack that. So, what happens is they didn't have a plan B. If you look at even after scoring such high runs in the first 8 to 10 overs, when the wicket was slowing down and Sri Lankans were slowing the pace down, instead of attacking all over, they should have tried to rotate the strike and go all out in the last 5 overs. So basically, the lack of planning, the lack of understanding. So it is a manifold problems more than just the injury, which I'm sure Australia is going to sit down on the table and do a complete analysis of their performance, which was absolutely shocking because they were found wanting and they played like novices more than a champion side.
Well, good
Sunil,
point you've made. Yes,
Sunil,
no.
yeah, Sunil, if you have read the legends of the Australian commenting, saying that the in-form batsmen were sitting on the bench and the
Yes.
out-of-form batsmen were playing. But even the out-of-form are big names whoever played, you see, like Tim David or you take Matt Renshaws. All these are big names who are in IPL, in the IPLs. But as Satish has said, the lack of commitment also was there towards the country. I feel that none of them were even cared to take the team to a victory play. This thing, I feel this Australian side was not led properly. I think the captain should have led the team very well. But I feel as a coach and as a player, I think the captaincy was not up to the standard.
Well, absolutely. You've summed it up by talking about those 2 points. Let me just ask you before we wrap up our show, and I toss it on to my colleague in the studios from Gulf. Uh, do you remember playing in Gulf against Satish? Let me get those two guys together. Satish, do you remember playing against Noel in such scenario, high stakes, high profile matches?
Yes, I did play once as journalist. We faced the journalist faced Noel David, who was part of the Dubai consular team during his send-off match, and it was a quite close contest. He literally assembled a very strong team against us. So it was quite a good game.
Noel,
I still remember that.
Noel, do you think today's contest will be as close as that when India takes Netherlands, considering that they've played here in the several counties and now they come here as big giant killers reputation. Noel, your views?
It only can be a close contest if the Indians, uh, lack their performance alone, but which is not possible. I don't think it's going to be. But not taking away the credit from the Netherlands, the way they have reached to the World Cup, I think they are a good side to see, and I hope they learn a lot during this phase whenever they play the Indians, because the Indians are the guys which will show them what T20 is all about.
Sunil,
Well,
just to
that's
add something, sorry to interrupt, just to add
yeah.
a few. Even if the contest is close, at the end of it, as journalists, we lost to the stronger team. So the result will be the same.
Oh, absolutely. There we had a journalist. But before we wrap up and I throw back to my studio for a break, I would like to ask Noel, David, Noel, quickly in 30 seconds, what would be the mindset of Tilak Verma, a player that you've seen from the childhood? Quick word from you.
I think his mindset will be very positive. His process is very simple. He keeps it very simple. He knows how important and what his role is for the country, and he executes his plans very well. And I know that lad that he never lets anything go easily. He works for it, and I know this game is very important for him.
Including the drop chances?
Doesn't matter. Drop catches does happen to a good fielders also. I still remember Azhar dropping 3, 4 catches in South Africa under the lights. I have dropped few catches during my phase of my cricketing career. Catches can be dropped, but the way you come back is very important.
Absolutely. There was a quick, nice comeback to an answer about your lad, Tilak Verma. That's all we had time for. The show is called a cricket special on NewsX. Now I take you back for a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere else. We'll be back soon.